Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Saturday the 13th of August 2022. What an absolutely stunning, amazing day. What a result down at the Den today. We thought at the start it was going to go in a bit bandy. We were 2-0 down pretty soon in the match. And we only ended up winning it 3-2, didn't we? So this is the match report from news@den.co.uk. So Millwall battled back from 2-0 down to secure 3-2 win against Coventry City. The lines were pegged back after just 2 minutes when captain Carmen Fadzian scored from a corner. Things got worse when Jake Bidwell's cross found an unmarked Matt Godden just before the half-hour mark, allowing him to double Coventry's lead. Millwall started to fight back, however, as Jake Cooper pounced on an error from goalkeeper Simon Moore to half the deficit going into the break. A quick counter-attack substitute Tyler Bury saw him smack the post from distance, with George Honeyman scooping the rebound into the back of the net to level the scores shortly after the restart. Coventry's demise started when Gustavo Hamer picked up the second yellow card with just over 20 minutes on the clock. Millwall kept pushing for a winner against the 10 men, which came when George Saville curled a low-effort pass Moore from inside the penalty area in the 85th minute, giving the Lions their second win of the season. Match details: if Millwall start Sheffield United was poor, pardon me, then it would be hard to think of a suitable adjective for the opening few minutes against Coventry. The Sky Blues took the lead after 2 minutes after failing to clear a corner. It allowed McFadzean in to score the opener from point-blank range, which would be incredibly disappointing for Gary Rowett, given how strong they were from set pieces against Stoke City just 2 weeks ago. Things went from bad to worse soon afterwards. Mason Bennett pulled up with an injury. While it provided Millwall with a welcome break from the early Coventry barrage, he had to be withdrawn just 12 minutes on the clock, with Tyler Bury coming on in his place. The visitors started to take their foot off the gas as the game progressed, but it didn't prevent them from doubling their lead just before the half-hour mark. Jake Bidwell was given far too much space to fire a pinpoint cross towards an unmarked Godden, who simply flicked the ball past Bartosz Białkowski to give his side a 2-0 lead. Perhaps this was what it needed to wake up Millwall. They went right at their opponents after the second goal, with Bury breaking into the box before being brought down. The referee decided that this was simulation, however, opting to award a free kick and a yellow card to the young substitute. It wouldn't matter too much, however, as the Lions got themselves back in the game just over 5 minutes later. The free kick looked to be floating too close to Coventry goalkeeper Simon Moore, but he was beaten to the ball by Jake Cooper before he could punch it away. That allowed the centre-back to flick his header into an empty net to half the deficit. While Moore may have made an horrible mistake, he more than made up for it from Millwall's next free kick. He first denied George Honeyman down the right of the box, parrying the ball to Murray Wallace. It looked like the Scotsman couldn't miss the opening goal, but the Coventry keeper rushed back in to deny him at the last second. The visitors looked to start the second half as brightly as they did the first, although Victor Gyökeres and Gustavo Hamer saw their early effort saved by Białkowski. The first goal of the second half would end up coming down the other end of the pitch, however, as Bury was played down the left. During a quick counter-attack, it looked like the attacker would lose the ball, but he regained his composure and took a stunning long-range effort that curled onto the post. Luckily for Millwall, George Honeyman was in a perfect place to steer home the rebound, scoring his first goal for the Lions just 8 minutes after the restart, and I believe Jake Cooper's goal. No, technically, that would have been our first goal from open play, because Jake Cooper's goal came from Scott Malone floating up a free kick. So George Honeyman's goal there was our first goal from open play this season. As the tempo started to fizzle out, one moment of madness brought the match back to life. Millwall countered from the Coventry attack, allowing Bury to break through into the visitors' half. He was brought down by Hamer, however, with the midfielder already on a booking. He was handed another one for the foul, forcing the Sky Blues to play the final 25 minutes of the match with 10 men. Millwall looked to make a numerical advantage count immediately. They started to threaten from set pieces once again. Honeyman's ball into the box was met by the head of Wallace, but his header flew narrowly over the bar. Eventually, the Lions found a way through with just 5 minutes left on the clock. Afobe controlled the ball in the penalty area, setting up substitute George Saville to curl a low effort pass Moore and into the back of the net. It was a strike that totally deflated the visitors, who were unable to force their way back into the game. Despite their late efforts, Millwall were able to hold on for a crucial win, giving them their second league win of the season. And the Millwall team was Biakowski, McNamara, Cresswell, Cooper, Murray Wallace, Malone, Shackleton, Mitchell, Honeyman, Bobby, and Bennett. And the subs were obviously Tyler Berry on for Mason Bennett in the 12th minute. In the 80th minute, Ryan Leonard on for Charlie Cresswell. In the 81st minute, George Saville, match winner, on for George Honeyman. And then in injury time, Isaac Loughlin on for Bennett Bobby, and George Evans on for Jamie Shackleton. So there you go, making 5 subs today. Takeaways. What happened to the defending? Millwall are known for being a rigid defensive unit, but that went out of the window incredibly early on in the game, while the goals at Bramall Lane last week could be classed as unlucky or through individual mistakes. No such claims could be made here. The defending on the corner, Coventry's opener, was all over the place, while Bidwell and Godden were afforded acres of space for their second. We'll need to see big improvements ahead of trips to Swansea and Norwich next week. Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why. Let me tell you the unused substitutes were George Long, and Sean Hutchinson. Just because Hutch wasn't playing. Hutch is he's the calming voice on the pitch, and it's he wasn't there against Sheffield United, and he's not there against Coventry, and we conceded 2 goals in each game. Which, just to go mention as well, scoring 3 goals in a game. I mean, when was the last time we did that? In a meaningful game. Well, we did it at the end of last season, but in a game that wasn't when teams were on holiday, and it's still kind of mad. So yeah, retribution for Honeyman. Honeyman received critics for his red card against Cambridge. It left, well, to be honest with you, I think most of the people were moaning about Gary Rowett. Well, why did you leave him on? You should have took him off at half time, and I was of that. I expected him to get taken off at half time, and when there were no subs at half time, I was like, okay. It left me all short in attack for their trip to Sheffield United. It was a needless foul that resulted in his second yellow card at Diaby. However, the midfielder more than made up for it on his return to the starting lineup, scoring a crucial equaliser early in the second half. Rowett will be hoping that it's the first of many ahead of a busy run of fixtures in the coming weeks. Yeah, Honeyman's goal. So yeah, Tyler Berry took a shot. Coventry were playing a line on the edge of their area and trying to get it offsides, and Honeyman run in when Tyler Berry took the shot, and they all stopped trying to get offside. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. It's from when the ball's played. So they all stopped. Like, they shouldn't have stopped. They should have just run back, but they didn't. The ball hit the bar, came back to Honeyman, and he just side foots it in the net. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Our first, as I say, first goal from open play this season. Playing bad, find a way. Millwall started the match terribly, possibly worse than they did at Bramall Lane. By the half-hour mark, it looked like there was no way back to the lines, and they still managed to find a way. Sure, the red card helped, but question the spirit of this Millwall team at your own peril. Yeah, when it was 2-0, there were bits and pieces of the fans moaning, complaining a little bit. You could hear it. That when Cooper scored and it was 2-1. Just the fans just started making so much noise for the rest of the game. They were just on it. I think it was like 13,000 fans there, 2,000 of those are Coventry, who had the lower tier as well, which is good to see. But yeah, amazing result. Absolutely amazing. This is what we need to do. This is what the kind of results the teams who get in the playoffs, and dare I say teams who get promoted, can still do. And you can see here we are back up to 4th in the table after 3 games. Doesn't really mean anything. Played 2, won 2, lost 1. But yet again, now our 2 away games we've had so far this season have been absolute dog shit. Cambridge United away and Sheffield United away. We now have 2 games coming up this week in the space of 4 days. Against Swansea on Tuesday and against Norwich on Friday, which is on Sky Television. Now, this is when we're going to find out if our away form is really as bad as it was last season, if that's carried on. If it has, we need to do something about that. We genuinely need to do something about that. What do we need to do? Now, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, so bear with me. In order to get promoted, or to get in the playoffs and above, so we have basically 8 months. We've got August, September, October, no November, but December, January, February, March and April. That's 8 months. If we can win 3 games in each month, that's 9 points. 9 points times 8 is 72, which is there if you add on the draws that we will get here and there amongst the losses in the other games. So 3 wins, at least 3 wins. That is promotion form. But we cannot do that on home games alone. We need to win at least 1 away game per month. So here's the thing. In terms of, we need to cheese it. A phrase that you hear every now and then. Cheese it. It means we don't actually genuinely have to improve our away form. What do I mean by that? We only need to win if we keep up our home form and get wins at home. If we just win 1 away game per month, that will be enough to boost us up into the promotion and playoff places. It's better than losing and it's better than drawing. So the solution is Gary Rowett and the staff and the players, they look at the fixtures and they pick 1 away game per month and they decide this is the away game that we're going to try and win. Just this one. The other ones, they can do what they've always been doing, keeping it tight, trying to nick a result, playing set pieces, trying to nick a goal, that kind of thing that they've been doing, where they barely go forward, barely create any chances, where you have a very, very low XG. I think the one at Blackburn, we didn't even away with last season. We didn't even have a shot on goal, let alone a shot on target. But all they need to do, so they don't have to improve the away form, just pick 1 away game per month and decide this is the away game that we're going to focus everything on and attack and try and win this game. And then we can revert back to the normal away style of dog shit defending for the rest of the away games, as long as we win that game. And if you do that, coupled with the home wins that we could get, that's promotion form. So like I say, you cheese it, you trick it. You don't actually have to improve your away form. You just have to do it for 1 game. How is that possible? That's the solution. There's the obstacle is our away form. How do we deal with it? Do we go around it? Do we go through it? Or do we go over it? Something needs to be done, and I suggest that we do that. So we pick 1 away game per month and decide, okay, this is the one we're going to try and win. Maybe, I don't know how you decide which one. Maybe it's the one where you've got more time to prepare. Maybe it's the one with the shortest journey. Maybe it's the one with the longest journey where you've got to travel up there overnight and you can keep putting in the players' heads. Okay, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. As they go up there for the hotel and the pre-match meal and all that jazz, and they're in the spa and all that, in the swimming pool in the hotel, you can tell them over and over, this is the game we're going to try and win. This is the game we're going to try and win. But we do need to do something about our away form. And so, I mean, coming up next month, we got Sunderland away. Yeah, so there's only 1, 2, 3. There's only actually 4 games in September. So that kind of September's pretty lucky. We got 3 home games and 1 away. But some months have got a lot more games. October, there's a lot of games. We've got Rotherham away, so maybe that's one you can target. Although Rotherham isn't really the best place of where we've been to get results. Maybe another thing, you look at where we got results for at away grounds. Which teams did we do well away at? Pick that one. In October, we got Huddersfield away, Bristol City away, or Rotherham away, and Blackpool away as well. So there you go. But that's my idea. If we can just win 1 away game a month, we're going to get promoted in the top 2, guaranteed. So yeah, tangent over. Let's return to normal programming. Let's get on some pre-match comments from Gary Rowett. The first, of course, Tyler Burry's performance in 3-2 win against 10-man Coventry. Tyler Burry, who was only playing because of the injury to Mason Bennett. So fortune there, a bit of luck. That wasn't planned, that was accidental. You didn't do that, Gary Rowett. You didn't decide that. You didn't choose that. You didn't plan that. That was a complete accident. A lot of fans want Tyler Burry to play because he's the only exciting direct player that we have. Now, he does give the ball away a lot, but so did Jed Wallace. And you kept playing him. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss Rowett praises Tyler Burry's performance in 3-2 win against 10-man Coventry. Millwall manager Gary Rowett has hailed the influence of Tyler Burry after his performance in the 3-2 comeback win against 10-man Coventry. I've got no idea why we have started games slowly. Ultimately, we need to play a bit more belief in our ability. We showed in the second half we can move the ball around and get into good areas, which is important, but we've got to settle down in games. It was a lack of composure in the first 20 minutes. It was our defensive performance that was poor. I say that, but we also showed some really good moments in the game. The Lions boss praised Tyler Burry, who replaced the injured Bennett. 21-year-old signed a new deal at the Den in midweek. Tyler Burry was outstanding when he came on. He was the best player for us by a million miles. Sav, who will feel a bit disappointed to have started today, showed the quality we know he's got. It's a lovely finish, fitting of winning the game. Just like Tyler's shot and Honeyman finishes off. It's a wonderful bit of skill, and we have to show it off a bit more in the game. We've always had character. It showed a little bit of our team. That character is big for us. What we've got to do is add a little bit of quality to it. We know we've got players missing. We know we've got players missing. That's there twice. Okay, so Vogie was unavailable today, but we know he comes in and adds quality. We know Zion Fleming adds quality. Tom Bradshaw, in terms of those goal scoring positions, adds that quality, and Mason adds that quality. Yeah, but Mason gets injured all the time. Why not play Tyler Burry? That's 4 players that make that difference to our squad. Our courage, our fight back. We had to change things. We got a good response by changing it, but in terms of some of those elements in the game, we will need to improve. Victor Gutierrez caused Mill problems all afternoon with his movement and was unlucky not to get us on the score sheet himself. Coventry are a good side. We saw that last season. They started the season brilliantly. And Gutierrez and Godden, they've got good strikers that will cause teams a lot of problems. I felt they were outstanding today. They caused us a lot of problems and a good footballing team. I don't know whether or not Mark Robbins felt the red card was a bit harsh. I felt the second challenge was a yellow. I don't know about the first one, but then it was whether we could go and break them down for the third goal, which we did. So Coventry may be a good footballing team, but their game in midweek has been postponed by the EFL because obviously it's an home game, and their pitch is still absolute crap. And so done. Yeah, they're postponed again. You got to feel sorry for the Coventry City fans, but I don't. Moving on now to this from news@den.co.uk. More Gary Rowett comments. Some of them may be the same that we've already heard. While Rowett was frustrated with how his side started the game, he was impressed by the character and determination to claw their way back and earn a valuable win. Asked whether he was surprised by the number of goals in the game, he admitted that he initially expected his side to concede more than they actually did. I was surprised by the number of goals in the game. I thought because of the hot weather, it was absolutely boiling out there, that it would be a lethargic game, low scoring 0-0 type of thing. No, it was the opposite. It was too hot to defend, so the goalkeeper scoring was all over the place. After about 20 minutes, I wouldn't have been surprised if all 5 were Coventry goals because it was a very poor start to the game, Rowett said. It was a disappointing start losing a goal so early in such a poor fashion. For the first 2 goals, we have to defend better than that. It was really not like us. It was a little bit lacking in concentration and organisation, really. The first one is a throw-in taken quickly and we switch off. We let the lad get down the line, he wins a corner and we don't do our job on the set piece. We're 1-0 down. But the other one, they drop off us and we give us too much time. We give them too much time. It ends up being a great cross and a good finish, but nevertheless it's a poor goal for us to concede. Losing Benno to what looks like a serious hamstring injury. He just overstretched it in the opening stages. Again, with the injuries we've got and the lack of players available, it's frustrating. It's not a surprise though, is it? The guy gets injured all the time, which is sad to say, but I mean, maybe it's time we kind of move on from Mason Bennett because this is ridiculous, the amount of injuries this guy gets. So it was a poor start to the game. It's certainly not something I anticipated or worked on, that's for sure. Even just in the first 20 minutes with our passing, we looked edgy and nervous. We looked like we really just needed to settle down in the game and relax a little bit and take a bit more time and thought with what we were doing. The goal actually gave us just a bit of confidence. As soon as it went in, you could see they started to look a bit nervous at times defensively. We started to play with that a bit more composure. That was what we needed, and that's what I said to the players at half time. We've got to defend a lot better, but if we keep patience with the ball and keep moving it, keep running and opening the game up, then something will happen for us to get a second goal. It certainly did, but that wasn't without 1 or 2 chances for Coventry. Even at 2-2, they hit the bar, and even with 10 men, they had a couple of shots around the edge of the box where we were loose defensively. Whilst the first 20 minutes were poor, the last 70 minutes in terms of character, energy, and fitness levels, I thought it was excellent, and the players that came on certainly made big impact in the game. Indeed. What does that say? Did you pick the wrong team to start the game? Or do the players that came on, because you've made all this signing, so we have a bit more quality now. So we've got Hutchinson on the bench, we've got Saville on the bench. So when you do bring a sub on, it's a quality sub. Is that the thing that's happening? I don't know. So Rowett hails his Millwall side's character after a 3-2 comeback win against Coventry. This might be a bit of a repeat. This is from London News Online. .co.uk. The first one is a throw in, they take it quickly. We switch off and let the lad get down the line, wins a corner, we don't dodge it. Yeah, this is a repeat. Yeah, this is a repeat. Yeah, I've just read this. Yeah. Basically, word for word, it's the exact same thing. From 2 different outfits. So let's move on to this then. Squad update. Obviously, we've got 2 important games this week, Tuesday and Friday. Coming thick and fast. What's happening with the squad now? Another injury. So Millwall boss provides up squad update after win. Gary Rowett provided an update on his squad after Millwall's win against Coventry City. The Lions were 2-0. Yeah, we know all that. New signing, Andreas Vogelsammer, missed the match as he was unable to be registered in time, while Mason Bennett had to be substituted early in the game after injuring his hamstring. Now, registered in time. I'm assuming that means it's not to do with a work permit, it's just to do with moving the registration from the DFB, Bundesliga, German FA, over to England. You have to transfer it over. So I'm assuming that is what that is about. There's nothing to do with a work permit. And I told you in yesterday's video, hopefully he's got the 15 points plus that he needs to just get it automatically rubber stamped. The latter joins Mill's injury list, which currently consists of Zion Fleming and Tom Bradshaw. Swansea away and Norwich away are both tough games. Well, Norwich are not doing too well at the moment. They look to be the team of the 3 that went down to be really struggling, let alone on a Tuesday night and a Friday night. Rowett said after the win. We'll certainly go there with a thin squad, but a squad with a little bit more confidence after the final 70 minutes of today's game. We're hoping that Vogie will be available. Mason will probably be unavailable for a while, I'd imagine. It looked like quite a serious hamstring injury. Tom Bradshaw is making slightly quicker progress than Zion, but I don't think either of them will be too far away the week after. Just this week might be a bit too quick, which is disappointing because this is the type of week in the Championship where you need your squad and you need your options. Clearly, we're a little bit limited in terms of those options. So hopefully Vogie will be available for Tuesday. It should do, because we've got one business day, Monday, for all the paperwork to get done. I believe he either needs to be registered by midday or later. It might be 4 p.m, something like that, for the game against Swansea. So maybe if that's delayed, and he might miss that as well, and it might have to go against Norwich. But that would be good to see Vogie. See Vogie making his debut on Sky against Norwich. That would be good. Hopefully he can do something and be the new Timu Pukki. But we wait and see. So it looks like Bradshaw and Zion will definitely be back for the Reading game, though. Just a reminder, that is kids for a quid. So kids for a quid. If you want to bring your kids, that's only going to cost them a quid. If you are 14 and over, so if you're between the ages of 14 and 18, you don't need an adult to go with you. You can go with all your mates, and it will only cost you £1. £1. If your mummy will let you, go £1. Reading game tickets in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. So yeah, and talking of the game, so was it yesterday's video? Yeah, I think it was yesterday's video. I told you about how Millwall Football Club had colluded with the Metropolitan Police in protesting against an alcohol license for the Millwall Cafe. And now we probably know why. They have just installed a new bar in front of the West Stand, aka Barry Kitchen Stand, which is the one by the front of the building, by the ticket office. So it's to the right of the ticket office. They used to have kind of kiosk portal cabin there selling club shop items. So maybe they've got rid of that and put a bar there instead. So now we know why. They want the monopoly to continue, and now you could look at it that way. You could look at it, well, the fans want this because the fans who go in the West Stand, the Kitchener Stand, they don't want to walk all the way round along the West Stand, along the South Stand, the back of the East, to the SC16 bar there, and get involved in all of that. It's a long way to go around. So the club have put this here at the front, and that's what they're doing now. So this is probably why they objected to the Millwall Cafe's alcohol license. They got their own thing going on, which we kind of knew it would be. So what do you think of that? Now, it's obviously the same price as it is inside the stadium, which a lot of people think is way overpriced. It's certainly not Wetherspoon's prices. It's London prices and a lot of people hate the Carlsberg, the shit lager, and you're paying a lot of money for shit lager that you don't like. But what are you gonna do? Because they've basically colluded with the police to stop anyone else from selling anything else from within the local area. So there you go. Now you could look at it that way. You could say, well, at least the club are doing something. They're making an effort. They put the SC16 bar round the back. They put the bandstand round the back to have some entertainment. So you're not just sitting there like a barfly drinking. There's actually something you're watching, something you're doing. They put some gourmet burger van there or something. They're doing things. They are doing things. They're trying to do some things. and you know, it is what it is. And that Millwall Cafe, the clock is ticking for them. That clock is ticking. Remember that the renewal development is going to sweep them away. That's going to be gone in probably about 4 years' time or so. It's in stage 3 or 4 or 5. That's going to get those green buildings are going to get demolished, and that's going to go away. And there's on the other side by Surrey Canal Road, they're going to be flats up there, and at the bottom of those is going to be a restaurant and a bar. So how's that going to work? The club are going to object to that. How's that going to work? Because I'm pretty sure that they won't be able to use their power against that to stop that, because they had a lot of trouble trying to stop renewal anyway with them up to funny business. So, but there you go. Drinking around the ground, not at the Mill Cafe, but in the Mill car park. So there you go. Yeah, it is what it is. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.